We're live. Hello. Hi, everybody. I'm Amanda Call. This is one of my comic pages. This is from my webcomic Age of Night. It says chapter 28, page 8. This will make the fourth session, I believe, that we're working on this one. It took us 2 live stream sessions, each about an hour, to draw the whole thing. And then last time we spent the session inking, doing a lot of this little, fiddly background stuff and armor and things, and hopefully today we'll be able to finish doing that nib inking and maybe even start on some of the brush inking. So we'll see how far we get. We do have some more of the nib inking to do first, so I'm going to use my Royal Talons India ink and my Crow Quill pen, which, yes, I still haven't gotten a replacement for my nice wooden holder. Unfortunately, I'm still using the kind of crappy plastic one, but it'll do for now. Will have to do for now. All right. We still have a little bit of this stuff I need drafting tools for to finish up. Like armor, it just takes so long. There's so much of it to do. We're gonna try to get it done. Hey, Hungry, thanks so much for joining me. Hope you've been well. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I had a good weekend. I went and visited some friends, and one of my friends taught me how to screen print. I had never screen printed before, which they were kind of surprised. Like, what do you mean you've never screen printed before? You went to art school and stuff. And yes, I did. But the thing is, with an art school education, is that you actually end up kind of weirdly sequestered sometimes, where if it doesn't apply super directly to your major, then you don't end up learning about it unless you specifically take a class outside of your major, which can be kind of tricky. Hey, Spud, thanks so much for joining me. And so you would think, hey, it's someone sane. Thanks for coming on. You would think that I would have learned about screen printing because, that would be sensible for that to be a thing I had learned about because of, the zine heritage of comics and, making mini comics. Screen printing is often a thing that you do in zine production for covers and stuff, especially. But no, I never did learn it. We had one professor who did a mini comics elective, and I don't know if that included screen printing or not. Some of my classmates learned how to screen print, but that was just generally not something we learned about in the comics department. I'll have to ask some of my old classmates where they learned it, or if it was ever covered in the mini comics class, because I don't think it was. I never heard of it being, but I never took that class, so I don't know. But yes, my friend Abby taught me how to screen print. I'm so excited. It was very fun, and now I know how to do it, and I want to do it some more. So I posted on Twitter my little first design, which I just kind of sketched out on a piece of transparency, that overhead transparency film that we used to expose the screen and everything. And so it was just kind of a rushed little sketch that I did, but I liked the design, so I might do a refined version of it. There seems to be at least some interest in that, so I might do that. But I don't have any of the supplies yet, so I'll have to get supplies for myself because I was using my friend's, screens and chemicals and everything. But yeah, that was my fun weekend. Went and visited my friends. We went to like antique shops and the Book Barns, which is this really cool place in Connecticut. It is exactly what it sounds like. It's an old barn and a bunch of other outbuildings, and it's full of used books. It's delightful. I found a bunch of really cool books there, and they were very affordable, and I was very excited. Story Comic says Book Barns. My birthday's in July. I like used books too. Yeah, you should check out the Book Barn in Neantic, Connecticut. Be a little bit of a road trip from Vermont, but I think it's worth it. There's a lot of other really cool stuff to do in that area of Connecticut. It's near Mystic, so you could do all the touristy Mystic Seaport stuff. They've got like an old whaling ship. It's fun. You could go to the Mystic Aquarium. Story Comic says, I haven't whaled in years. I don't think they allow any actual whaling on the historic whaling ship. I think they just tell you about whaling and let you wander around and look at the ship. I don't think they let you actually whale. Would be kind of cool, but no, I don't think that's how that works. Oh my goodness, I just made a big mess. I just smeared that all over my hand. Oh, which one of these is gonna get this? It's still gonna take me a couple of passes to get this little corner here. Better the hand than the page. You are exactly right, someone's saying. Not that I'm gonna say that's totally outside the realm of possibility of still happening, but we're gonna try not to. All right, we've got some more background to do here. Okay, good. I wouldn't want to embarrass myself. I forgot the difference between a deck pot and a darting iron. I have no idea what you are on about. I am not that familiar with whaling terms. I have, in fact, never read Moby Dick. I never learned all that. We got some background situation going. So don't call you Ishmael then. I mean, you could, but I would probably not respond to it. So there's that. Got some big old rocks going on in this scene. That is okay. We're going to fill in the big old rocks. Lots of little dots. all of the peeping from the chicks is hopefully maybe a little bit quieter now. I have given away all the ones I plan on giving away at this point. I have 7 left, and then also, I don't remember if this had happened, but from the last time I went live, I don't think it had happened yet. I also ended up getting 6 more chicks. I got 6 guinea fowl chicks. Could hear them. Yeah, they're not too bad. They're not too bad. They're not distracting. Sometimes they get mad and they get very loud in here, but they're not bad right now. They're just kind of pleasantly peeping, and I can hear them pecking on the sides of their enclosure, which the walls of the enclosure are just like a cardboard box that I broke down and like turned into walls. Clean our little French curve as we go. And for some reason, even though those exact same pieces of cardboard are there all the time, occasionally they're just like, oh, I gotta peck it. Maybe it's food now. Maybe it's hiding food now. It's like it's not. It's not, guys. Still not. Still not food. Still not hiding food. You can really give it a rest. But they will not. They will do no such thing. Trying to get a few different angles and bits of her armor done because this particular panel has a lot of overlapping bits. I'm trying to get as many pieces as I can done in one pass without dragging my tool through it. But because of that, I do also have to keep pausing to clean it so that I don't end up with like pooling on the edge. Because we don't want that. There's like a little kind of like broken edge on that particular part of the French curve that gives me this weird little skip when I try to use it. It's kind of annoying. Oh well. Wee. Okay, sorry. Getting you all dizzy. Just gonna whip it around. Whip the page around. Oh wait, no, that's her sleeve. I'm gonna stop messing with that. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay. Yay, progress. I'm just like having to stare at this and have my brain just like doot loading for a second. Okay. We'll figure it out. Eventually my brain will come online and we will do this. No, hold still. Stop trying to escape. Can we do this without dragging our tool through ink? Nope, not so much. No, what are you doing? What is happening? Okay, that was not as nice as I would have liked. I should have just walked away and just kept going. All right, I'm going to clean out my pen real quick. Ugh. That's okay. We managed to save it, but got a little touch and go there for a bit. So let's see. This page is still a few weeks out. This is still 2 weeks away for people in general, for being posted publicly. And it'll be posted next week for patrons, if I remember correctly. But we'll see how far we get if we end up doing one more session or not. Because if we end up with less than an hour's worth of work on it, then I won't bother finishing it on stream, because I don't want to just work for like 20 minutes and then cut it after that. Horses. Why do I keep making myself draw horses? This is like one of the things I regret with my world building. Nobody should have ever had horses. I should have made up some much easier creature to draw that nobody could tell me I was drawing wrong because I made it up for their whatever it is that they ride around. And like, yes, they ride around on giant blobs. They're like jellyfish. They're like land jellyfish. Just trying to give some very light, thin lines back here. Show that, yes, there is a mountain range back here, but we don't need it to be like popping forward. It can just kind of be a faint off in the distance situation here. Land jellies. Do you accept fan art? I mean, I could. If you want to make us some land jellies, I will gladly repost them. Can't promise that I'm ever gonna use them, but I'll repost them since I already decided that this world has horses, which was very silly on my part. Dun, 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 dun. Spinning the page around. Oh, okay, I gotta clean that off. It's getting messy. Okay, we're getting there on that armor. Be done with this French curve before too long, thankfully. So we did all the ink stuff on this, all the pen and ink stuff on that one last time. So we're gonna come down here and work on Drake a little bit. Who always looks a little bit strange in this in-between phase when I haven't done all the just plain black that is most of him. Get all the little dots on his nose. Little dotty nose. So let's see what else has been going on. I got my official "You did not make it in the lottery" letter from SPX. So that's fun. I got that email this afternoon, I think. They were like, "Oh, so sorry. We're so sorry. You didn't make it." I'm like, "Yeah, what else is new?" That's okay. The lottery system has never been kind to me. I have never managed to get lucky with that system, so oh well. And it'll still be like a month before I hear from Mice. You're super lucky. Super lucky is good. It's a convenient thing to be super lucky. Tons of bad luck stored in a warehouse. Good luck. Not so much. Oh, okay. Important context there. Lots of luck, just not luck. Yeah, so it'll still be a while before I hear from Mice. So we'll see how that goes. Like holding my breath on any of them. It would be cool to go to Mice. That one is not a lottery. That one's purely juried, which if anything I feel like less great about than than something that's a lottery. I'm just like, oh no, they're going to judge me. Trace the cat off one that you've known. No, he's just a guy. When I first started this story, it was quite some time ago. I don't know if any of the cats I knew at the time are still alive. I think one of them is, last I knew. I'd have to ask Matt, but I'm not sure. But I know some of the other cats, most of the other cats I knew at the time. None of them are with us anymore. None of them were this incredibly sassy. He just needed to be a black cat because he's the god of night, and I liked him being a little bit like fluffy and scruffy. And beyond that, that was pretty much it. That was it for his design. And his design has shifted a little bit over the years as I've gotten slightly better at drawing cats. Or just the way I draw cats has kind of evolved to facilitate the type of story I'm telling. I don't know. I still don't think I'm like amazing at drawing cats. I think I do okay at drawing cats. Just reminds me of the thing where it's like it doesn't necessarily matter if I make the cat look like the most realistic, bestest version of cat that ever existed, as long as you can look at it and go, yep, that's obviously a cat. And whatever he's going through, like whatever he's supposed to be emoting, you're understanding. That's the more important part than whether or not it's a good drawing of a cat. You do a great job of making a cartoon cat that doesn't look too cartoony. Yeah, that's kind of the idea, is I want him to be expressive more so than a real cat can be, but not be out of place with the rest of my drawings, if that makes sense. Because it's not like excessively cartoony. And I think I do okay at that. But yeah, the most important thing is that you see him, he looks like he fits in the rest of the drawing, and you get what it is that he is supposed to be emoting. You get what his character is supposed to be doing. And it just reminds me of, like, every time I think about, like, I'm not actually that great at drawing cats. I think about how, when, uh when the Chronicles of Narnia were first being published, and, the publisher found Pauline Baynes to be the illustrator. C.S. Lewis did not, uh, contract Baynes, it was his publisher that did, and I think they met, like, one time ever, and Lewis was like, she's fine. She doesn't know how to draw lions, though." I just I just think of that sometimes. It's like, well, Pauline Baynes apparently couldn't draw lions, so obviously that didn't stop her from having some of the most iconic children's book illustrations of all time, so, yeah, it's fine. Getting some shadowed texture underneath her here. Do, 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 do. Oh my goodness. Sometimes it's just more about getting the point across and being perfectly accurate. Exactly. That is exactly the point someone's saying. Okay. We're getting pretty close to being done with having to do the pen and ink stuff. And we'll be able to move on to doing some of the brush inking. Yeah, we should maybe have time for that. Still got 25 minutes left in this stream because, as a reminder for folks who may not know or may not remember, I usually only do these streams for about an hour because at the end of an hour, I'm tired and need to stand up and stretch. You should get up and stretch, get some water. It's just a good little length of time. Watch a little bit of work. I don't know how people sit and stream for like hours. I can't. I gotta get up. I gotta get up and move. grass. Almost done with grass. Okay. Now I can finish up these details on this character that I need this for. Oh my goodness, I can hear the little guinea birds making so much noise. It's that extremely loud, high-pitched cheeping that you are probably hearing coming through my mic because I can hear it coming through my headphones. It's so loud. They're so loud. And they never get less loud. It just gets different as they get bigger. Yeah, guinea fowl. They just make so much noise. When they're bigger, it won't be sweet little peep peep peeps anymore. It'll be like cluck 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 cluck. And then occasionally when they get upset or scared, it'll be like and just make an awful racket. Not the sort of creature you want to have if you live in civilization. Thankfully, I do not live in civilization, so it doesn't matter. My neighbors are not nearby. So it's fine that I have some of the loudest birds ever. And people don't believe me when they come and visit and they're like, wow, those birds are loud. Because these guinea chicks that I have, we already have some adults, but we only have 3 adults. We keep them because they keep the tick population down, which is very handy in the Northeast where we have a lot of ticks. And people will come over and they'll be like, oh my gosh, those birds are so loud. How do you deal with that all the time? And I'm like, oh, I don't even notice them anymore. They're like, you're lying. You must notice them. I'm like, I really honestly do not. I really honestly do not notice unless they are upset about something. Because when they get upset about something, it's usually because there's like, well, I wouldn't say usually. Sometimes they get upset over nothing, but sometimes they get upset because there's a predator in the yard. And so when they make that noise of like, oh my gosh, danger, like that particular series of clucks, my cat is hearing the birds is pacing around your desk right now. Oh no, I'm tormenting Spud's cat. Oh, I used to raise the chicks. Previous years, I raised the chicks in the house, and I spent as much effort cat-proofing the chick enclosure as I did chick-proofing the chick enclosure, and I'm like, I don't wanna deal with that this year. So they're just out here in the studio, so you all get to enjoy them. Because the cat does not come out here. This is a separate building. So. Yeah, my cat was always very much like, oh my gosh, snacks. I want to eat them. I'd spend an awful lot of time being like, where's the cat? Coming around the corner, see him just kind of perched on top of the chick enclosure. And we're like, oh, stop it. And he'd run away. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to have to constantly be yelling at my cat and worried that he's trying to eat the babies. I'm just going to keep him out here. Yes, I hear you. You're very loud. Oh, almost there. Almost there on all of this. All of this armor. So much armor. And we've got this kind of like rattan sort of situation on the arms and legs here. Okay. Okay. I think that's all the stuff I need the pen for. I think we can start doing a little bit of brush. We won't get very far because it's already 43 minutes into the stream. Yeah, almost 44 minutes. So it's okay. We're going to start though. So I'm going to clean my pen out real quick, move that out of the way, move my tool out of the way, close up my ink, switch over to my other ink. So this, switching over to my Winsor & Newton India ink. What is all the noise? What are you guys doing over there? Settle down. It's late. Go to sleep. Where's my brush? There we go. Out the Winsor & Newton Series 7, size 4. Inking brush. Okay, technically it's a watercolor brush. I use it for inking though. A lot of people use it for inking because it's really good. It's also very expensive. But if you take care of them, you can usually get about a year of inking out of them, depending on how many hours you're putting in. I usually get a year. From what I hear, that's not uncommon from other people who ink. Come on, let's load this brush up. All right. Try to load it up a little bit. I've got my piece of scrap paper over here to kind of hone a point down as I get the brush loaded. Still didn't get it loaded up that much yet. Still got a little dry brush situation going on. That's better. Okay. They want a bedtime story. Yeah, probably. Probably just want me to feed them some more. They're like, hey, the light's still on. You should feed us again. I just fed you. You're fine. Let's actually connect those lines. We don't just have floating fingers here. So let's see, what else is going on before we get into the last 10 minutes YouTube situation? Not this coming weekend, but the following weekend is the main Comic and Toy Con. That is the kickoff to my convention season. That's going to be in Portland. That's April, Portland, Maine. So that's April 28th, 29th, and 30th, I believe. It's whatever that last weekend is. I think that's what it is. me and a bunch of other cool artists and vendors and some celebrities, if that's your jam, voiceover acting people, all sorts of cool stuff. And I'm trying to prepare, and as always, it's like whenever convention season starts, I'm just like, oh my God, what am I doing? I need to take inventory on everything and order stuff and organize my stuff and spruce up my displays and all that good stuff. I ordered some new stickers yesterday. Excited about that. They'll be going up on my Ko-Fi shop as well as selling them in person at conventions. So that'll be fun. All right, so we're in the last 10-ish minutes of the stream. I'm going to go over the YouTube stuff real quick. I'm Amanda Call. This is a page from my comic, Age of Night. You can read Age of Night entirely online for free at ageofnight.com. It's AGEOFNIGHT.com. It's a new page just about every Wednesday. This page will be going up in a couple of weeks from now. And while you can read the whole thing for free, if you would like to help support me making comics, you can support me on Patreon. That's patreon.com/ageofnight, spelled just like the comic. Patrons get all their comic pages a week early. They get some free comics, access to other cool behind-the-scenes stuff as I work on things, including previews of I Am the First as I'm working on that, which is another comic project I'm working on with my friend Remy Flag that you can find more about on bravenewcomics.com. I do these live streams just about every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you like watching me work on comics and chat and answer questions, then you should subscribe to this channel, like the video, tell people about it, all that fun stuff. If you want to follow me on other social media, you can find me on a lot of them as either Amanda Call Art or Age of Night. And like I said, I'm going to be at Main Comic and Toy Con in like a week and a half. Cue panicking. Let's see. Can I finish this panel? I bet I can finish this panel. Still have a couple minutes left. All these little tassel-y bits. All right, I think that's gonna just about do it. All right, cool. So at the start of this hour, we had a fair start on all of the pen and ink work. And now we've got all the pen and ink work done. We started doing some brush work, but I think well, we still have plenty to work on here. We can work on this next week. So next Wednesday, we'll be finishing this page up. So thanks everybody for coming and hanging out with me this evening. I will see you next time. Bye.